All right, welcome in the Pure Adrenaline Sports, everybody. This is John coming at you with our MLB Power Rankings. Sorry, it's been a couple weeks since we've done a live video. I have been posting them on the community tab to keep you guys up to date, but we are back. We're going to miss next week as well because the Mets and Phillies are in London, so we'll be live streaming that game during the time I usually do the Power Rankings. But wanted to jump back in. Hopefully we get some people here. Excuse me, to chat it up. All right, there we go. Make sure we're going on all the sides. Let's get a poll. Sure, we get a poll going in the chat before some people start showing up. Start a poll. Who should be ranked number one? Sorry, guys. Should have done this before we started the stream. Who should be ranked number one? All right, there we go. Guys, vote in the poll there in the chat, and let's get to it. Let's hop into our number 30 team. They're on a 10-game losing streak. They are the worst team in baseball right now, so it's not even worth a discussion. Oh, let me turn stream on as well. That's loud. All right, coming in at number 30 this week. No surprise, the worst team in baseball, the Chicago White Sox. They're 15-44 on the year. Like I said, they've lost their last 10. Dead last in most statistical categories on the hitting side, 29th in 3 of the 5 pitching categories. So definitely not a good team. But let's keep going here. No surprises really here. 25 through 30, most of the same teams. Miami Marlins coming in at number 29. It'll be interesting to see when they start trading away some more pieces. But let's look here. Why can't I find the Marlins? There they are. Coming in at number 28, the Colorado Rockies. Rockies are also 21. They're 21-36 on the year, playing a little bit better over the last 10 with a 6-4 record, but haven't moved up. Dead last in pitching categories. ERA, runs, hits. So no good there. All right, the Rockies. That's the Colorado Rockies at 28. Still waiting for some people to hop in the chat. Number 27, a team 2-8 over their last 10. The Los Angeles Angels coming in at number 27. Moving up to number 26, the Oakland A's. Oakland A's at number 26. 4-6 over their last 10. 24-36 on the year as well. Once again, bottom tier teams in most statistical categories. So a lot of these teams don't move don't move much. Early on in the year, when it'd be our first show or second show where we did power rankings, Oakland was, I believe, in the top 20, but they've completely fallen off. But let's keep going here. Number 25, my New York Mets, 3-7 over their last 10 games under 500 right now. They did win the first 2 games against Arizona in this weekend series, but lost yesterday 10-5 to fall 10 games under again. So my New York Mets coming in at number 25. Number 24, a team that's struggling this year as well, 28-31 on the year, 3-7 over their last 10, the Tampa Bay Rays. So let us know what you're thinking in the chat. All right, let's keep moving. Coming in at number 23, the St. Louis Cardinals, 7-3 over their last 10. Let's do this. The St. Louis Cardinals, they're actually down, even though they're 7-3 over their last 10. They're down 1 this week from 22 last week to number 23. St. Louis at number 23. Coming in at number 22, a team that moved up 1 spot this week. Still sitting at 27-30 on the year, 6-4 over their last 10. Looks like they're starting to get things turned around, though. The Toronto Blue Jays coming in at number 22. Rounding out 21 through 30. Coming in at number 21. A team that's 5-5 over their last 10. 8 games under 500 on the year. At 25-33, the Cincinnati Reds. A team I expected to be a little bit better than this. So hopefully they can get things moving in the right direction. But let me know if there's one of these teams, 21 through 30, everybody that should be in the top 20 that's not. But let's start getting into the top 20. A team that's climbed back up over the last couple weeks, the Pittsburgh Pirates, coming in at number 20. At number 19, the Washington Nationals. Nationals at number 19. No movement from last week, as well as team number 18. The Houston Astros coming in at number 18. Now, if you're new here or first time watching our stuff, the up and down arrows, a team that's dropped or gained 3 or more positions this week. So before we get to that, let's look at number 17, a team that dropped 1 spot from 16 last week. They're 6-4 over their last 10, 1 game under 500. The San Francisco Giants. All right, coming in at number 16, a team that has dropped 3 spots, even though they won yesterday. They lost the first 2 against the Mets, 4-6 over their last 10. The Arizona Diamondbacks. They were in the World Series last year, and right now would not even make the playoffs. Coming in at number 15, another team that's dropped more than 3 or more spots. They've actually dropped 4. The Chicago Cubs coming in at number 15. They were 11 last week, 2-8 over their last 10 to drop down to 15. Number 14, a team that's up 1 spot from last week, even though they're 2 games under 500, 5-5 this week. The Detroit Tigers. Tigers coming in at number 14. All right, now we got a plus arrow. So 3 or more, they've raised 3 or more spots this week. They were 17 last week. They're up to number 13 this week. Still 2 games under 500, but still waiting to get a couple guys back. Still waiting to get Scherzer and DeGrom back. Josh Young as well. but the Texas Rangers. So neither of the World Series teams this year doing all that hot, but one team in Texas is on the rise where Arizona's been falling. Coming in at number 12, 7-3 over their last 10 games, 3 games over 500 at 32-29. They're number 1 in average, number 1 in hits, number 8 in runs scored. So starting to get things turned around ever since they made that trade. At number 12, we have the San Diego Padres. Padres coming in at 12. And at number 11, before we get to our top 10, up 3 spots this week, sitting currently 33-27, 6-4 over their last 10. Still struggling at the bat, 28th in average, 26th in runs, 27th in hits. But wise in the top 10 in a lot of categories. 7th lowest ERA, 8th lowest runs allowed, 3rd lowest hits allowed, but 10th most strikeouts. So a team that's pitching well, still not hitting though, the Seattle Mariners. And they have that plus arrow, so they moved up 3 spots. They were 14 last week, up to number 11. So let's hop into our top 10. Coming in at number 10, the Minnesota Twins, 7-3 over their last 10 as well. 6 games over 500 right now. No rise or fall this week, so still sitting at number 10, the Minnesota Twins. Coming in at number 9, the Boston Red Sox, 1 game over 500, 5-5 over their last 10 as well. Still pitching very well in the top 10 in every category. 4th in ERA, 9th in runs allowed, 10th in hits allowed, 6th in home runs allowed, and 8th most strikeouts. Batting, top 15 most categories, 12th in batting average, 11th in runs scored, 8th in hits, 12th in home runs, and 9th in stolen bases. So that's the Boston Red Sox at number 9. Coming in at number 8, a team that's dropped again. Currently sitting 8 games over 500, 4-6 over their last 10. They dropped 1 spot from last week. The Atlanta Braves coming in at number 8. At number 7, up 1 spot from last week. 7-3 over their last 10. In the top 5 in a lot of hitting categories, in the top 10 in a couple pitching categories. Team that's playing much better. Up 1 spot from 8 last week to number 7 is the Milwaukee Brewers. The Brewers are 3rd in batting average, 2nd in runs scored, 4th in hits, 8th in home runs, 3rd in stolen bases. On the pitching side, they're 10th best ERA, 10th fewest runs allowed. But they give up a ton of hits, 18th there, 24th in most home runs, and 23rd in strikeouts. But let's keep going through the list here. Coming in at number 6, the Kansas City Royals, down 2 spots from last week. The Royals coming in at number 6. They're 4-6 over their last 10, so that's for the drop. Top 10 in most categories across the board. They've been in our top 10 all season long. Let me look here. Let me come over and look. The Kansas City Royals. Lowest they've been on our list all season long is 7th. That was 2nd and 4th weeks. The last week, number 4, but number 6 this week. But let's keep going. Let's get into our top 5. Number 5, the Dodgers coming in at number 5, up 1 spot from last week. They're 4-6 over their last 10 though, but still definitely the best team in the National League West, coming in at 37-23. All right, that was the Dodgers in at number 5. Sorry, listening to Rhino. He's got something cool going on over there. Coming in at number 4, guys, let me know what your thoughts are so far. Coming in at number 4. Let me see if there's any votes in the poll. We have 4 votes in the poll on who should be number 1. We have 3 votes for the Yankees, 1 vote for the Phillies. None for the Guardians, none for the Orioles. But let's get into our top 4. Number 4, coming in at number 4, 8-2 over their last 10, 37-19 on the year. Number 5 or higher in most pitching categories. Only when they're not in the top 10 is strikeouts, but 5th in ERA, 2nd in runs allowed, 2nd in hits allowed, 5th in home runs allowed, and 14th in strikeouts. 10th in batting average for their offense, 7th in runs, 16th in hits, 2nd in home runs, and 13th in stolen bases. The Baltimore Orioles coming in at number 4. Coming in at number 3, the Cleveland Guardians, also 8-2 over their last 10, 39-19 on the season. No movement. They were 3rd last week as well. So the only 2 teams getting votes in the poll there, guys, are the 2 teams that are 1st and 2nd. But let's come over and look to see what it is. We have 5 votes in the poll, 3 for the Yankees, 2 for the Phillies. Hey, Hybrid Hustler, what's happening? How are you today? He's saying Yankees 2nd for sure. All right, nobody else posted anything in the chat, so let's keep going here. In at number 2 this week. Where'd my rankings go? There we go. Coming in at number 2 this week. 6-4 over their last 10, 41-18 on the year. So that's how you know it's not, hey, Brian, what's happening? Welcome in. Coming in at number 2 this week, the Philadelphia Phillies. Still the best team in the National League, if you ask me. So ranked number 2, but right now playing a little bit better than them, even though they have record-wise, the Phillies have the best record in baseball, but the Yankees 8-2 over their last 10, up 1 spot from last week. These 2 teams flip-flop. Coming in at number 1 is the Yankees. Hybrid Hustler says bad 2 series is what did it. Yep, and they only dropped a spot. Let me look. Let me actually come over and look to see what the separation is. I have it coming in. The difference between the Yankees and the Phillies on the power ranking side is 1/10 of a point. That's how close those 2 teams are. And then there's a bigger drop off down to 3 at Cleveland, another drop off down to Baltimore, Dodgers. So, but 1/10 of a point between the Yankees and Phillies. That's how close they are. So good stuff. Let me know what you guys think. A bunch of people showing up here late. I'll leave that on the. Can I ask a question? Why are the Yankees number 1, Phillies number 2, and Baltimore number 4? Phillies 1, Yankees 2, Baltimore 3. Yeah, that's what the power rankings spit out. All the stats I put into it. I mean, Baltimore's up 1 spot from 5 last week. They're up to number 4. Cleveland stayed the same. Yankees and Phillies flip-flop. Like Hybrid said, the bad 2 series is what did it for the Phillies to drop that 1 spot. But yeah, any other comments or questions? We do have the Mets and Arizona Diamondbacks live stream coming up today at about 1:40. So, once again, let me know. There's 7 people here. Let me know your thoughts. Let's go back over and check out the poll some more. 6 votes in the poll now. 50% for the Yankees, 33% for the Phillies, and 17% for the Guardians. Hustler says London series is going to be fun. I just hope they're good games. I'll be live for both of them. Saturday is at 1 o'clock Eastern time, and Sunday is at 10 o'clock Eastern time. So no power ranking show next week, but I will post the rankings. I will post the rankings on the community tab. So good stuff. Good for baseball, says Hustler. But what else is going on? Sorry, Hustler. I saw you had a couple more comments at the end of the stream last night. I see you got some food reviews, I believe you said, coming up. Do you think it's going to flip-flop number 1, 2 until playoff time? Depends on how these teams plays. And it depends. It factors in opponent's strength of schedule, the way I set it up. So if you lose to bad teams, you're going to drop. And not necessarily bad teams. Like the Phillies lost a couple games to San Francisco. That's what did it. Colorado. So that's what hurt the Phillies, you know. But like Hybrid Hustler said, they got the Mets next week. Now they're playing St. Louis now, so 23rd. But then they got the Mets. If they lose a couple games to the Mets, not saying they will, but yeah, we're not even to the All-Star break yet. Yes, so early still. Anything can happen between now and the All-Star break. Exactly. You never know when a team's going to get hot. Let's look at teams. I have all the rankings here. Let's look at teams that have struggled. Look at Atlanta. When I first did the power rankings after the first week, Atlanta was number 1. Then they dropped to 4, 6, 7, and 8. So they've been struggling. Do you think the Mets make any trades at the deadline? It depends on how far back they're at. If they're still 10 games under at the trade deadline, yes, I believe they will trade away pieces. I don't think they're going to go out and bring anybody in to change that. Let's go over and take a look at the MLB standings right now, the wild card standings. But once again, way too early. Right now, my Mets are 4.5 games of a wild card spot. So, but 3-7 over their last 10. So let's see. Right now, the teams ahead of them: Atlanta, San Diego, Chicago, San Francisco, St. Louis, Pittsburgh, Washington, Arizona, Cincinnati. Right now, the only team I think the Mets are better than in that list is Washington, and that's not enough to move up. Maybe Pittsburgh, so maybe 2 spots, and that's not going to be enough to get into a playoff spot. Yes, the Mets will bring up some minor league players, but they're going to wait until September. They're going to wait until after the trade deadline to do that. Acuna will be called up, I believe, by the end of the year if the Mets are out of it. I'm not sure about Clifford. Some of the other pitchers will be brought up as well. Scott will be back. Scott will be back after the London series. The only reason they sent him down is because of all the days off in between the London series and when they get back. So they didn't need a 6th starter between those times. Bunch of days off, so they didn't want him to miss a spot. So Met fans were going nuts, but I understood it. Brett Beatty was sent down. Brett Beatty probably. I don't want to say this because you never know with injuries, but Brett Beatty probably won't be called up back to the majors this year. If Vientos is going to keep playing good defense and batting over 300 at third base. No, I do not think the Mets will squeak into the playoffs. No, there's too many teams ahead of them that are good. I mean, I hope they turn it around and make the playoffs, but no, I do not think the Mets will make the playoffs this year. All right, let's end the poll there. 6 votes, 50% Yankees. You guys got it right. But, all right, but once again, here we go. All right, let's go. Let's edit this. Rising Rhino's doing the UFL right now. Let's go over, send him some love. Tell him PAS sent you over. Come back over for the Mets and Arizona game at 1:40 Eastern time. And we'll see everybody later on. Thanks again, everybody. Hit that thumbs up if you haven't. Sorry that you think the Mets won't make the playoffs. Don't be sorry. They're not that good of a team. Hybrid Hustler says, see ya. All right, guys. It'll ask if you want to redirect. Go over, show Rising Rhino some love. Tell him PAS sent you over, and we'll see you all for the Mets and Diamondbacks.